That's a good question, Brian. Brian asked, what do you think about the guys who have jacked up trucks, super nice jacked up trucks, put a ton of money into it? The truck guys. I used to be a truck guy. I had a 2016 Chevy ZL1. Really nice truck. I think at that time it was probably 50 or 60 grand new. Of course, I was an idiot back then. I actually bought a new truck. I never recommend ever, unless you can pay cash, and even that, I still don't recommend it. Never buying a new vehicle. For obvious reasons, as soon as you drive it off the lot, you know, you probably lost 10 grand from the get-go. So, a couple years old, you know, let that depreciation burn off, you know, buy a, you know, it's 2024 now, 2020, 2021, 2022, something like that. Usually you want to find them off lease, because the morons that lease vehicles, no, leasing is horrible too. Leasing, it makes sense if you're leasing it to a company, or obviously you want to talk to your CPA about it, but most of the time leasing doesn't make any sense. You're basically just renting the vehicle, and then when you give it back, you know, God forbid you're over miles and you roll it into another vehicle, and now you're even more upside down, and it's just not worth it. So what I did, that 2016, I bought it, financed it, of course, and then immediately I wanted to be a truck guy. I wanted to get that thing lifted, so I think I got a 6-inch lift on it, put rims and tires and fender flares and all the running boards that you know, articulate up or down. I spent probably 15 grand extra on the truck just so I could be a truck guy, and I never used that thing for work. Now, I owned rental properties. You have to remember that. So my truck was supposed to be used to haul lumber, get material one place, whatever, and I washed that thing every day because it was black on black, and I couldn't keep the fucking thing cleaned. As soon as I washed it, I had to get a chamois and chamois it off, and God forbid anybody put wood in it. I made them put like this blanket down. It was just, you know, I didn't use the truck the way you buy a fucking truck. You're supposed to beat the shit out of a truck. It's a work truck, but I didn't do that. I was a truck guy. So I see guys out there right now who spend, nowadays a truck is what, like fucking 90 grand, and then they'll go get all these aftermarket parts on it, and then they can't afford it. And you see them on Facebook Marketplace, you know, they get the thing lifted 6 inches. Your gas mileage goes right down to shit more. And they can't afford the payments, and, you know, they're trying to get top dollar for the truck, saying, oh, I got $20,000 in aftermarket for it. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares that you did that. And the new person that's going to buy your truck certainly doesn't care. He likes the fact that it's got all this, but it doesn't really add value to the truck. So no, don't be a truck guy. If you're a guy who works with his hands and he needs a truck, I obviously suggest get a couple years older, get that depreciation off. If it already has all the bells and whistles on it, great. Don't add more just to, you know, kind of, don't add more to it. You're fucking the value. You're putting money in a depreciating asset. So now that truck, that 2016, I had a friend borrow it while I was away, and he was parked He wasn't even driving. He was in the truck, but he wasn't driving. He was in a parking lot. And some 23-year-old, drunker than shit, from what the police report said, she was doing 55 in a parking lot, and she went right underneath the truck. Now, if the truck wasn't lifted, she probably would have died. So, I am glad I had it lifted for that reason. She got injured, but she didn't die. You know, she'll live another day, hopefully not drink and drive again. But that totaled my truck. So that's the end of the truck guy era. After that truck, I bought a 2000, I think it's an 18 Toyota Tundra. Piece of shit. I just replaced a transmission in it, but I use it for work. Now, I don't own the amount of properties I do, but I do own a rage room, and I'm picking up glass, I'm picking up windshields, I am using the truck. So I do try to keep it nice, but I'm not a truck guy. The thing's gray, I love it. I don't fucking have to wash it half the time. It's disgusting in there now, and I do tell guys, keep your car clean. I should probably practice what I preach sometimes. I got tools in there, but I use it for its intended purposes. It's a truck. I use it for work. I don't have a pleasure vehicle. I had one. I kind of scaled back on a lot of stuff that just wasn't serving me. But no, don't be one of those douchebags that gets a truck brand new and then adds another $10 or $15 or $20,000 in aftermarket just so you can feel cool. Nobody cares. Matter of fact, I went to a local bar I go to get some food, and this dude, he has what I call little dick syndrome. This dude, it looks like Bigfoot. His truck literally looks like Bigfoot. It's that tall. I don't know how tall that truck is, but the wheels are fucking huge. He's bragging to everybody he's got $80,000 into that truck. And he's thinking, oh yeah, this is a great investment. And you know, women look and guys look at me. I'm like, yeah, buddy, they're all looking at you like a fucking douchebag you are. And he literally has to put one foot on the tire and kind of like hoist himself up into the truck because he looks like a fucking toddler. Anyhow, no, don't be I'm a truck guy. Get a vehicle, use the vehicle for its intended purposes, and understand that vehicle, it's a money pit. All vehicles are a money pit. There's no vehicle out there, unless you get into, of course, like the exotic cars. You know, people do buy those, and we're not talking about that. We're talking about truck guys. Don't be a truck guy. Don't go out there spending all this money and you don't have money to fill up the gas and you can't go on trips with it because God forbid it's going to get dirty, and God forbid a buddy wants you to move and you can't use your truck for its intended purposes because it's too fucking high and you can't get anything into the thing. It's just a bad scene. I was a truck guy. I was a douchebag once, and I'm not anymore. So I would say no on the truck guy. Absolutely not.